Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you. I came out there pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. This lesson is going to be dealing with the concept of interracial dating, okay? Dealing with you Israelites, okay? Interracial dating meaning, when a man of another race marries a woman of another race and vice versa. Okay, that would be considered interracial dating. Now, I want to play this video so you guys can see, the mindset of our people and how they're completely confused, and how their mindset is backwards. These women are going to make some statements and we're going to show you why it's the exact opposite, of what they're saying. I'm going to play this video twice because it's a short, just so you can get it and fully hear what these people are saying.
Hey, how do you feel about interracial?
White women, if they date a black man, dead wrong. But if a black woman find her a rich white man, right on, sister. Black power.
I love interracial couples. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I personally think they're great. I'm personally in one. I recommend.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I think that black men should be with black women. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
It's okay for a black girl to mess with a white guy, but not the same thing for a black guy to mess with a white girl. When black girls do it because they genuinely like them, and I feel like when black boys do it, it's just because they comparing them to black people.
When black girls mess with white guys, it's because they like a nice guy, this and this. But whenever it's a white girl, I like snow bunny, it's a fetish.
They be like, I like white girls because black girls can't do this.
When black girls like white boys, it's genuine.
That part.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I don't have a problem with them. I think it becomes an issue when you're like, I need mixed babies, and it's just weird.
Hey, how do you feel about interracial?
White women, if they date a black man, dead wrong. But if a black woman find her a rich white man, right on, sister. Black power.
I love interracial couples. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I personally think they're great. I'm personally in one. I recommend.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I think that black men should be with black women. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
It's okay for a black girl to mess with a white guy, but not the same thing for a black guy to mess with a white girl. When black girls do it because they genuinely like them, and I feel like when black boys do it, it's just because they comparing them to black people.
When black girls mess with white guys, it's because they like a nice guy, this and this. But whenever it's a white girl, I like snow bunny, it's a fetish.
They be like, I like white girls because black girls can't do this.
When black girls like white boys, it's genuine.
That part.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I don't have a problem with them. I think it becomes an issue when you're like, I need mixed babies, and it's just weird.
So you heard the mindset of these women. Really, he was only interviewing women, and not every one of them was saying the exact same thing, right? Obviously, you had a Edomite woman there saying how she's dating a Jake, but you had a few of them, or the majority of them, that were saying how it's okay for a woman, a Israelite woman, a so-called black woman, to date an Edomite male, right? But it's not okay for a so-called black man to date an Edomite woman, which is obviously what they would consider a double standard. But the point is that it's completely wrong. All right. It's completely the opposite. And we're going to go into that because the man carries the seed. When they deal with an Edomite man and they bear his seed, they're bearing the seed of the Edomites. They're bearing the seed of the wicked. OK, the seeds of those that are enemies, not only to your people, but enemies to the Most High. That the seed that comes out of you as the woman, you're just the incubator. The life form starts in the balls of the man. So you're really joining the team of the Edomites when you do that. When we deal with a woman of another nation, they're joining our team. They're getting down with our program. Okay, the woman internalizes, the woman receives, okay, and the man gives. So what is she receiving? She's receiving the energy of the Edomites when she lays down with an Edomite. Okay, which really, and I'm not making this video because I'm so mad that the black woman's dealing with the Edomite man. Listen, Jake is finished with the black woman. The so-called black man doesn't even want to deal with the black woman no more. That's why they're lashing out in this way, saying how it's bad for them to deal with Edomite women. But one thing that they're not doing is they're not checking their own behavior. That's the last thing they're going to do. They're never going to do that because they're against accountability. Okay, but like I said, I'm going to prove to you that this is exactly backwards, and Jake is just laughing because Jake doesn't know any better. Jake might agree because Jake was raised by his mama, right? But This is not the facts. Okay, let's go to Numbers, the first chapter, and I'll start at the first verse. It says, "And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, Take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel." Right? So he was going to count the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers. Right? So we're counting up the Israelites by their families or their tribe, right? Their families and their tribes by what? By the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their polls. Meaning what? It didn't matter where the mother came from. It didn't matter if the mother was a Moabite, which is a so-called Chinese. It didn't matter if the mother was an Edomite, a so-called white woman. It didn't matter if the mother was an Egyptian from the seed of Mizraim. It didn't matter what nation that woman was from, because that seed was the seed of an Israelite. That's why they only focused on the father. Okay, that's showing you that it doesn't matter who, if the Israelite man lays with the women of the other nations. Okay, the seed that's coming from that is Israelite, like, and they have the spirit of Israelites. J. Cole, you know what I'm saying? Let's get J. Cole for an example. You can go on for days, man. You could go on for days, man. Drake, you know, all these Israelites with all this talent, their fathers are Israelites. Okay, right? It says, from 20 years old and upward, all that are able to go forth to war in Israel, thou and Aaron shall number them by their armies. You know, when you go down to 18, it says similar thing. It says, and they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees, meaning their lineage, after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. Let's go to the word pedigree. Okay, because the saying is doing all this by their fathers, right? Yalad, what that means, child. Yalad means child in the Hebrew. To bear, to bring forth, child distress, bring forth, midwife. Is this the word that I'm looking for? Yalad. Okay. So I guess the word there is Yalad, which means the child. So, okay. Is there something else here? Bring forth, beget, day of birth, to declare one's birth. Which we know Yalad means child, you know, so you have to, you know, and specifically, I believe it goes into a male child. Okay, so, you know, you're checking the child's pedigree. Well, let's look up the word pedigree. Okay. Let's look up the word pedigree. Pedigree means to record of descent. Okay, to record of descent, of the record of descent, where you descend from, of an animal, showing it to be purebred. Okay, the recorded ancestry, especially upper class ancestry of a family, of a person or a family, right? So it's dealing with the descent. Okay, this is what it means by, you know, begot, right? So he's checking. So in other words, they're checking the record, right? The birth record, to see what tribe they come from. Okay, and that's why it says beget, to bear, declare one's birth, right? Like a birth certificate, if you will, that shows, you know, what tribe this individual came from, because we had records of the birth certificates and so on and so forth, right? So the mindset that these individuals have in this video is very, very backwards. And this is why the scriptures say that my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. They lack the true understanding. Okay, and because you have a nation that's ruled by women, right? Speaking of you especially of the kingdom of Judah, you're completely confused. Okay, let's get an example here of let's get Numbers. When I'm going to get Numbers, the 26th chapter, because even when you deal with inheritance, right, the inheritance would go to the sons. Okay, and if the inheritance went to the daughters, there was a stipulation, right, behind that. Okay, a very important stipulation to show you the importance of the seed of the man over the womb of the woman. Okay, this is Numbers 26 and 55. No, Salakia. Well, actually, yeah, I'll start here. Spirit had me come here. It says, this is Numbers 26 and 54. It says, to many thou shalt give the more inheritance, and to few thou shalt give the less inheritance. Right? This is when we were dividing the land of Israel. To everyone shall his inheritance be given according to those that were numbered of him. Right? Notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. They shall inherit. Right? So they're inheriting the lands based upon the tribes of their fathers. And the lands was known as the land of Judah. Why? Because the Judites lived there. And that was based upon what? Their fathers. Okay? The land of the Manassites. Why? Because the Manassites lived there based upon their fathers being Manassites. It didn't matter what tribe their mother came from. You understand? Because there was intertribal marriages, not interracial. When a so-called black man lays with a Latino woman, that's intertribal marriages. Or when a Latino man lays with a so-called Native American woman or so-called Haitian woman or whatever, that's or so-called black woman. That's intertribal marriages. That's not interracial marriages. There's a difference, okay? Because we're of the same seed, but we're of different tribes, okay? It says, notwithstanding, the land shall be divided by lot according to the names of the tribes of their fathers. They shall inherit. Okay, according to the lot shall the possession thereof be divided between many and few. So that's showing you right there. That's showing you right there that where you come from, your lineage is based upon your father. So if a so-called black woman lays with an Edomite, guess what the children are? The children are Edomites. They're little devils. They're not Israelites. Okay? So that right there shows you that that's a lot worse than an Israelite man laying with another nation. Okay? Case in point, Boaz. Okay? Boaz, he laid with, the Spirit had, the Most High had him lay with Ruth. Okay? So that what? So he can redeem that land back. Okay? That's why he's known as the kinsman redeemer. Right? Boaz. Right? And guess who came out of that lineage of Boaz? King David, which was of the tribe of what? Judah. He wasn't of the tribe of a quarter Judah and a quarter Moab. Okay, no. His grandmother was a Moabite, but he himself was a Judite because it's always based upon your father. Right? So that's the point. Okay, so let's get let's get Numbers 27. Let's get Numbers 27. Okay, let's jump to Numbers 27 because this is a case right here with where daughters were pleading for what? For an inheritance, right, from their father, and the Lord had this situation come up so we would know how to judge this situation. The Lord has situations come up so you learn how to judge. Okay, this is Numbers 27 and 1. It says, then came the daughters of Zelophehad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilead, the son of Mashir, and these are all men that it's mentioning. All these lineages that is meant, the son of such, the son of such, the son of such. These are all men that they're mentioning. Mashir, Gilead, Hefer. These are all men. They're not mentioning the women because the women does not matter in the lineage because the man does not come from the woman. Okay. The woman comes from the man. The seed is where the life starts, and then it's inseminated in the woman, and the woman holds and harbors the seed, and the seed is brought forth through the woman. It's women talking about, I create life. We create life. Showing you these women are full of pride, man. They have exalted themselves above the Most High. So that's why the Most High is going to bring out a lot of judgment on these women. That's why the Most High is sending out so much warnings to you women from the prophets. Because guess what? There's about to be a lot of judgment passing on you women. Okay? Because of the wickedness and the pride that you've exuded in this damn society. Even when you come into the truth, so-called come into the truth, you still got that pride in you that needs to be washed out, man. Okay? It says the son of Gilead, the son of Mashir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of Manasseh, the son of Joseph. All right, so these were Manassite women. Okay? And these are the names of his daughters: Mala, Noah, and Hogla, and Milcah, and Tirzah. And they stood before Moses and before Eleazar, the priest, and before the princes, and all the congregation by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, saying, Our father died in the wilderness, and he was not in the company of them that gathered themselves together against Yahweh in the company of Korah, but died in his own sin and had no sons. Why should the name of our father be done away from among his family? What do you mean? He has daughters. It's going to be done away from among his family. Why? Because the daughters don't have seed. So whoever they marry, right, the lineage stops at the daughters. Okay, whoever they marry, they're taking on the seed of that man and continuing his lineage. So when our women go deal with another nation, guess what? They're taking the seed and the lineage of that nation, and they're becoming part of that team. That's why it's so much worse for a woman to lay down with a man of another nation, an Israelite woman to lay down with a man of another nation. Okay, because he hath no son. Okay, from among his family, because he hath no son, give unto us therefore a possession among the brethren of our father. And Moses brought their cause before the Lord, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, the daughters of Zelophehad speak right. Thou shalt surely give them a possession of an inheritance among their father's brethren, and thou shalt cause the inheritance of their father to pass unto them. Now there's a clause behind that. There's a condition behind that. They couldn't just go and marry who they wanted, because now who their husband is even more important. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a man die and have no son, then ye shall cause his inheritance to pass unto his daughter. And if he have no daughter, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his brethren. And if he have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his father's brethren. And if his father have no brethren, then ye shall give his inheritance unto his kinsman that is next to him of his family, and he shall possess it. And it shall be unto the children of Israel a statute of judgment, as the Lord commanded Moses. And the Lord said unto Moses, Get thee up into this Mount Abarim, and see the land which I have given unto the children of Israel. Okay, now let's jump to, because that's not it. Let's jump to Numbers 36, right? Should be dealing with the same case. Numbers 36. This is Numbers 36 I'll start at verse 1. It says, And the chief fathers of the families of the children of Gilead, the son of Mashir, the son of Manasseh, of the families of the sons of Joseph, came near and spake before Moses and before the princes, the chief fathers of the children of Israel. And they said, Yahweh commanded my Lord to give the land for an inheritance by lot to the children of Israel. And my Lord was commanded by the Lord to give the inheritance of Zelophehad, our brother, unto his daughters, right? So this is going back to that same case in Genesis 27. It says, and if they be married to any of the sons of the tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. Okay, right? So why? Because they're becoming part of that family. They're being received into that family, right? You're joining that team. You're putting on that jersey. Okay, just like, so if a woman deals with an Edomite, a black woman deals with an Edomite, showing you that they're fucking traitors. That's why they're saying what the fuck they're saying on there. The black woman is so loyal. The black woman is the least loyal out of all the women. The hell is she fucking talking about? Don't listen to the babble that these women spew, man. Don't listen to that, man. They're the least loyal out of all these women. The reason why, because them Edomite dudes ain't really, don't really check for them like that. You know, at least the ones that they want, right? So at the end of the day, don't listen to that garbage, okay? But that's why they're promoting the so-called black woman to deal with the Edomite man, but they're shunning the so-called black man because they're jealous. And ultimately, they don't want to see you Jakes happy. They don't want to see the so-called black man happy, all right? And if you Jakes have any type of sense, okay, you would go to where you, as they say, where you're celebrated, man. Okay, go deal with another one. See, when Jake deals with another nation, the Jakes that don't deal with another, they haven't really experienced anything really, you know. So when they deal with a woman of another nation, it's like, oh my God, wow, this is amazing. They don't even know how to act because the women treat them so good compared to what they're used to be treated, man. You used to being treated, man. And they lose their mind too. They start to fall deep in love, which is where you have to protect yourself, man. Okay. This is Numbers 36 and 3 again. It says, and if they be married to any of the sons of the tribe of the other tribes of the children of Israel, then shall their inheritance be taken from the inheritance of our fathers, and shall be put to the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall it be taken from the lot of our inheritance. Okay, so why? Because guess what? Her children are all going to be of that tribe, whatever tribe that their husband's from. If her husband's a Ephraimite, all them children are going to be from the sons of Ephraim. Okay, if they're Gadites, all their children are going to be Gadite children. Okay, doesn't matter that the mother's a Manassite. Okay, that's why they're saying. So what's going to happen is that land is going to belong to who? Whatever tribe her husband is from, right? So that's to show you why it's so important. It's worse. It's bad, terrible for a woman to deal with a man of another nation, an Israelite woman to deal with a man of another nation. And when the Jew and guess what? When we deal with an Edomite woman, right? Guess what? The children that come out are all Israelite children, and she's following. And guess what? She starts to try to talk like Israelites. All right, she gets that vibration. Okay, you know. So why? Because what? They're coming and they're joining our team, man. And that makes the Edomite man so vexed. Why do you think why do you think there were so much laws against that back in the day? Because that's a sign of a nation going down, is when, like the Apostle Har been saying recently, is when their women, it likes the enemy. Okay. And when the Jubilee of the children of Israel shall be, then shall their inheritance be put unto the inheritance of the tribe whereunto they are received. So shall their inheritance be taken away from the inheritance of the tribe of our fathers. And Moses commanded the children of Israel according to the word of Yahweh, saying, the tribe of the sons of Joseph hath said well. This is the thing which Yahweh doth command concerning the daughters of Zelophehad, saying, let them marry to whom they think best, only to the family of the tribe of their father shall they marry. Okay, but they have to marry within the tribe of Manasseh. They cannot marry outside of the tribe. You think they can marry another nation? Are you kidding me? Absolutely not. They have to even marry within their tribe in this particular instance. Okay? And the reason why they can choose who they can marry right now is because their father died. That's why. Okay, that's why. Right? But because the father would usually find a husband for you. Right? So that's the point on that. That's the point on that point, right? So that's showing you that the woman, who the woman is, is not so important. Who the woman is who bear the seed is not so important. It's the father that's important. So us dealing with heathen women does not matter. We can deal with as much. Matter of fact, that's in the law. There's a law that says when we see amongst the captives a beautiful woman, let me see if I can find that. Oh, excuse me. It's a beautiful woman, as in one. See, it's the month, right? This is Deuteronomy 21. In verse 10, it says, when thou goest forth to war against thine enemies, right, which are the other nations, and Yahweh thy power hath delivered them into thine hands, and thou hast taken them captive, meaning it's into slavery, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife, right? Because we're not fighting against other Israelites and putting them into slavery. Come on, man. That's wickedness. We were fighting against other nations and putting them into slavery. So this woman would be a woman of another nation, okay? And seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and hast a desire unto her, that thou wouldest have her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thine house, and she shall shave her head and pare her nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in thine house, and bewail her father and her mother a full month. And after that thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. Right? So we didn't just go in there, take her and just take her in the alleyway and just grape her there. No, we had a process. We had we're civilized people, man. We have a process. We're not like the so-called white man. We had a process of them letting them mourn their parents and so on and so forth, because we just came from war. Their parents were most likely dead, right? So, shaving their head, and so on and so forth, and which is a sign of mourning, and so on and so forth. Okay, and then, after that month is up, right? And after that, thou shalt go in unto her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife, right? And when she's our wife, what does that mean? She's going to also bear children for us, excuse me. All right. You see, so this was a part of the law. We could do that. We had the right to do that when it came to the heathen women. So dealing with the heathen woman is not the problem. And when she's a captive unto us, what does that mean? That means she's following our customs. Okay. But the problem was, as the Lord commanded, he said that because, you will follow after their gods. This is what Jake was doing. They were following after the heathens' gods. This was the problem. The problem wasn't King Solomon's multiple women of different nations. The problem was that he was building temples unto their gods. This was the issue. The Lord would have said nothing if he had just dealt with the women and not built temples unto their gods. Okay. But let's fast forward today. All of these women are idol worshippers from all nations, including our women. They're the biggest idol worshippers. So they're witches and warlocks. They're witches, excuse me. Okay. They're into all this astrology and all this madness. So you're telling me they're not going to put spirits on you if you allow it? It's about Yahweh Shem Yahushai being with you and you using wisdom, okay, and learning from our forefathers of not to fall into that trap. That's what's important. Okay. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go whither she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. Right? Because if you sleep with her, that means you can't sell her for money. You can only let her go. You can't sell her for money. That's confusion. You can lay with a woman and you go sell it to another man that, he lays with her, he sells it. We didn't deal with that. We didn't deal with that. Okay. That would be considered like, what do you call it? Sex slavery. We didn't do things like that, Yes, if we want to lay, they didn't have a choice to lay with us. Okay. if the man really wanted her. But we didn't just sell them off and had them in chains somewhere in a basement. Nah, it didn't go down like that. It didn't go down like that. They became as a wife, okay, but a secondary wife. All right, like in other words, they were not on the level of an Israelite woman. Okay. Can you Israelite women make a man a secondary man? Is that can you do that? See, so you guys, it's confusion. What the hell they're talking about? Let's go to Ezra. Let's go to the book of Ezra. But that's okay. Let them continue in their pride. The one, I'm telling you, the woman that's going to lose the most in these times is the so-called black woman. That's a fact. And the rest of the Israelite women right behind her, man. Y'all are going to lose bad, man. This is Ezra 2 in verse 57. It says, the children of Zephatiah, the children of Hatil, the children of Poshereth, of Zabayim, the children of Amai, all Nethanims, and the children of Solomon's servants were 392. And these were they which went up from Temelah, Tel-Harsah, Sherab, Adan, and Immer, but they could not shew their father's house and their seed, whether they were of Israel. Oh, why didn't they ask for their mother's house? Maybe they had the records of their mother's house. No, they had to show their father's house. They had to show who their fathers were by record to prove that they were Israelites. The children of Deliah, the children of Tobiah, and the children of Nakoda, 652. And this was a big controversy, okay, because they needed to prove that they were Israelites. Okay, I believe in this case, they need to prove specifically that they were of the children of Levi. Okay, let me read a little bit more. It says, and of the children of the priest, the children of Habiah, the children of Koz, the children of Barzillai, which took a wife of the daughters of Barzillai, the Gileadite, and was called after their name. These sought their register among those that were reckoned by genealogy, which was through who? The house of their fathers. But they were, so the whole confusion of, oh, I'm 20% this, 10%. You can't be 10% of anything. You can't be 50% of anything. You are who your father is 100%. Okay, it doesn't matter how you look. Okay, it says, but they were not found. Therefore, were they as polluted, put from the priesthood, right? Because you had to, it was very strict back then. You had to prove that you were a Levite. They weren't doing it through the Spirit. Also through the Spirit, I believe he's a Levite. No, you had to prove you were a Levite by the papers, okay, by the lineage on record. You understand what I'm saying to you? So that's how strict it was back then. And it always went through who? The house of your father. That's how you know the Lord, Yahweh Shai, Joseph was his biological father through sex with Mary, because what? He was a Judite. You can't be a Judite any other way but through your father. There's no other way. Anything else is confusion. Okay? It says it is evident that our Lord sprang out of Judah, man. So miss me with that. This is Leviticus 24 and verse 10. Okay, let's read this, man. This is the mindset of the heathen. The heathen do not have any attachment to the Heavenly Father in the spirit. The heathen are far off from the Heavenly Father, and this proves it. Okay. A lot of the trouble that was caused amongst Israel in the wilderness was started by the heathen, the mixed multitude that was among us, of the heathen, and that's why the Lord wanted that story to play out as an example. This is Leviticus 24:10. It says, and the son of an Israelitish woman whose father was an Egyptian, meaning what? What was he, an Israelite or an Egyptian? I'm going to read this again. I want you to think about this, man. And the son of an Israelitish woman. So his mother was an Israelite whose father was an Egyptian. So was he an Israelite? No. Okay, he was an Egyptian. He wasn't half Israelite. He was a full Egyptian because his father was Egyptian. His mother laid down with a filthy heathen. Okay, and that's why her son was a filthy heathen, man. Okay. went out among the children of Israel, and this son of the Israelitish woman, and a man of Israel, meaning what? One who had an Israelite father, okay, a true Israelite, okay, and a man of Israel strove together in the camp, meaning they fought together. And the Israelitish woman's son blasphemed the name of Yahweh and cursed, okay? Oh, so he cursed the name of the Heavenly Father. He blasphemed. Why? Because he's a damn heathen, man, okay? And they brought him unto Moses, and his mother's name was Shilomith, the daughter of Dibri of the tribe of Dan. And they put him inward, that the mind of Yahweh might be shewed them. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, bring forth him that hath cursed without the camp, and let all that heard him lay their hands upon his head, and let all the congregation stone him, put him to death, man, put him to death. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? All right. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, whosoever curseth his power shall bear his sin. And that's it. Okay. But guess what? That wasn't even his power. That was really because he was a heathen. All right. And that's why it was spoken to who? The children of Israel. The mixed multitude just happened to be there. This was all these things that are spoken about. This was targeted to the children of Israel. Okay. The mixed multitude knew it because they were there amongst the children of Israel, man. And the Lord kept them there to prove the children of Israel. And what did they do? They followed after these damn heathens, man. Which the heathen are supposed to be following after us. We're not supposed to be following after the heathen. Just like a man is not supposed to be following after his woman. Okay, this is Numbers 11 in verse 1. It says, and when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh. This is a perfect example. This is going to show you that the heathen were the cause of those problems in the wilderness a lot of times. And then Israel just followed after the ways of the heathen. Oh, the scriptures say that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbors, but the way of the wicked seduceth them. They were being seduced by the ways of the heathen. This is Numbers 11 and 1. It says, and when the people complained, it displeased Yahweh. And Yahweh heard it, and his anger was kindled, and the fire of Yahweh burnt among them and consumed them that were in the uttermost parts of the camp. All right. So the ones that were in the back of the camp, because they were murmuring, right? The Lord destroyed them, right? And the laser come out of those chariots, man, and consumed them. Okay. And the people cried unto Moses, and Moses prayed unto Yahweh. The fire was quenched. Okay. And he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of the Lord burnt among them. And the mixed multitude, which are the heathen, that was among them, all right, fell a lusting. And the children of Israel also wept again and said, who shall give us flesh to eat? So whom caused the children of Israel to lust? The mixed multitude, the heathen. Okay, and guess what? Some of them had Israelite mothers, but they were still heathen, just like that Egyptian boy, whose mother was an Israelite woman. Okay, and they were like, now we need to go back. We were eating this, we were eating that. So what happened? The wicked Israelites were following after their lead. They were being seduced by their wickedness. Okay, we remember the fish which we did eat in Egypt freely. You see, they were reminding them of all those things, the cucumbers and the melons and the leeks and the onions and the garlic. But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes. Right? So when all hell breaks loose, you might have some Edomites telling you, you remember, we need to bring it back to the good old days. Remember, we used to be able to order Uber Eats and all this shit. And you know what we got to tell them in the spirit? F that, man. We looking for the kingdom. May this place be destroyed. We're looking for the kingdom now, right? When all hell breaks loose, man. You understand what I'm saying? But now our soul is dried away. There is nothing at all beside this manna before our eyes. So now they're complaining about the manna, and the manna was tailored to everyone's taste. It was perfect, and it had all the nutrients that you needed in it. So they're just being ungrateful little hoes, man. Okay? And the manna was as coriander seed, and the color thereof as the color of bdellium. If I want to look up that color though. Let me look this up real quick. I know this is off topic. I'm just curious about the color of bdellium. Okay. So that's how it looked. All right. It's kind of a darkish color. Okay. All right. Anyways, it says, which we got to find out which one is bdellium, the darker one or the lighter one, but we got to find that out. But anyways, it says, and the people went about and gathered it and ground it in mills, or beat it in a mortar, and baked it in pans and made cakes of it. And the taste of it was as the taste of fresh oil. And when the dew fell upon the camp in the night, the manna fell upon it. Then Moses heard the people weep throughout their families, every man in the door of his tent, and the anger of Yahweh was kindled greatly. Moses also was displeased. So that's it. So you see that the mixed multitude was causing the Israelites to complain and go off and all this because they were heathens. Okay, well, it didn't matter who their mother was. You see, so this video, which I guess I'll play it one more time, showing you these demonic so-called black women. See, this is why we keep getting on the black women, because they're more demonic than any women. All right, and what is she saying? She's saying it's okay. And look, she got a fucking Playboy bunny on her pants. Which, what does that signify? That signifies she's a harlot. What's the Playboy bunny thing about? What does that represent? Hugh Hefner in him, right? That freak. Okay? Listen to the words that come out of not all of them, but the majority of their mouths. Okay?
How do you feel about interracial?
White women, if they date a black man, dead wrong. But if a black woman find her a rich white man, right on, sister. Black power.
I love interracial couples. That's why I'm here.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I personally think they're great. Like, I'm personally in one.
And so you know what? You should get one like this. Get you a nice little Edomite woman or another nation. Trust me, you'll have a better lifetime. You'll have a better time and peace. Okay, you'll have peace. All right, more peace than what you have with the so-called black one. I can promise you that.
Like, I recommend, like.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I think that black men should be with black women. I don't see why you wouldn't want to be.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
It's okay for like a black girl to mess with a white guy, but not the same thing for a black guy to mess with a white girl. When black girls do it because they genuinely like them, and I feel like when black boys do it, it's just because they comparing them to black people.
When black girls
every time we get with an Edomite, we comparing them to a black girl. Every time we get with an Edomite or another nation, the black girl's ass is like, come on, man, we ain't thinking about you, man. We're thinking about what's in front of us, man. We ain't worried about that. The fuck are you talking about, man? We ain't looking at them. Yo, the black woman's breast, they got dark nipples. Yo, they got this, that. What the fuck would we? What does that have to do with anything? They're just making up shit. And listen to what this second demon says. This slut. This what do you call her? This traitor slut says. This next one.
when black girls mess with white guys, it's because like, oh, they like a nice guy, this and this. But whenever
they like a nice guy, this and this. What the fuck does that mean, man? They like a nice guy, this and this. What does that mean? What the fuck does that? You don't have nice black guys? Is that what you're trying to say? You can only find nice guys amongst white guys? You fucking clown. Yeah, that's why, when the Lord brings judgment, man, we are not going to, don't ask us for a piece of bread. If I got a 10 loaves of bread, don't ask me for a piece of bread. Don't ask me for a cup of water, man. I don't have nothing for you. You understand what I'm saying to you? I don't have nothing for you.
when black girls mess with white guys, it's because like, oh, they like a nice guy, this and this. But whenever it's a white girl, oh, I like snow bunnies, like it's a fetish.
They be like, I like white girls.
Now, what does that mean, a fetish, right? Because what they do is, I'll tell you this, right? They try to shame. They shame both. They shame both parties. They shame the so-called black man for dealing with outside of his race, dealing with other women besides them. And then they also shame the woman for dealing with so-called black men. So these people are against you. They don't want you to have happiness, period. I'm speaking about the so-called black woman. This is what they do. Are you fetishizing black men? What the fuck does fetishizing mean? When you look up the word fetishize, it means to hold something in importance, to hold something as, to have spiritual powers. So they're saying they look at you as a god. Okay? So what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that, the word fetishizing. Fetishizing ultimately means you're attracted to that person. It means nothing. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to shame the men into dealing with them and shaming the women for dealing with us. These are your enemies. Just understand that. And guess what? They bring them other nations on they shame the other nations into following them in their mindset against the so-called black man. So they're not for you, man. They're not with you. Okay?
And do this.
When black girls like white boys, it's genuine.
That part.
Hey, what do you think about interracial relationships?
I don't have a problem with them. I think it becomes an issue when you're like, I need mixed babies, and it's just weird.
Hey, how do you feel about interracial?
So anyway, so that's it, man. And you can see the pride on their face. But yeah, man, we coming to the end of this thing, man. And the Lord is going to put everything back in order, man, through judgment. So Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, and I'll say shalom.